Welcome to the Nifty Fingers channel. Today we're going to learn the Kick Muck riff from Ozric Tentacles. Alright, so let's see how to play the riff there, the Kick Muck riff. It's going to start with your 4th finger on 12th fret on B string, and then you're going to do a series of pull-offs in groups of 3, yet there are 4 notes per beat, so that doesn't divide out very well. So this is where you kind of have like some syncopation on it. So we'll see what that sounds like. But so I'll just play the first 4 notes. So your pinky's doing most of the work there. You hammer off from 12, pull off 9, and then 12th fret on the G string, and pull off 0. And once you get that going, that's when you start the pattern that repeats. So then your next note is your 1st finger on B string, and then you play 10. Basically, your fingers are assigned to notes, right? Like your 1st finger is assigned to this note, your 2nd finger is assigned to this note on G string, 10th fret, and your 4th finger is assigned to the 12th fret of the G string. So I'll just say like your 1st finger note, your 2nd finger note, and your 4th finger note, so that you know which one to play. So now so you play that, and then you play your 1st finger note, 2nd finger, then pull off, then 4th finger and pull off, and then 1st finger, then 10 pull off, or 2nd finger note pull off, then 4th finger note pull off. And this part just keeps going. You just do this for 8 beats, which isn't that long actually, but you just got to remember to count. So if we count along, we'll count up there, and we'll end up eventually with our 1st finger on the 9th fret is where we're going to end measure 2. So if I play the riff, then that's where I've ended exactly the last 16th note of measure 2. And then we start the riff over again with our 4th finger hammer off to the 9th fret, and just keep the pattern going. And without like a drum reference, that one can be like a little bit tricky to count along. Like you might hear it as like 3 notes making up a beat, but you got to make sure that you accent every 4th note. So. I think I accented something weird there, but yes, when you're playing along with the song, it's a lot easier to keep in tempo. But when you're playing by yourself, it's kind of hard to keep track of which note is which. So now we'll go to the next part there, which is essentially the same thing. It's 12th fret, except your finger assignments now. You're going to put your pinky to the 12th fret of the G, 1st finger to the 8th fret of the G string, and then your pinky also gets assigned. It gets 2 assignments. It gets 12 fret of the D string and 12th fret of the G string, so those two notes. And your middle finger gets the 12th fret of the D string. And you just repeat the pattern from the first section. With remember to accent every fourth note, and then so it's this exact same pattern. And then when you get to your first finger ending the second measure there, now this time you use your third finger to get the 11th fret on the G string. And then to get out of that riff, you kind of got this weird, where you're playing on the off 16th notes, right? Like a 16th, a grouping of 4 16th notes is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to play on 2 and 4. So that's how you get back into the main riff. It's kind of a nice little fill. So that sounds like... yeah, so for that part there, so you're going to actually end again with your first finger. Your first finger seems to always end the riffs there, except this time we're ending 3 notes earlier. But we're still on our, because it's in groupings of 3, we're still ending this sort of thing on our first finger. Or you can play like an open D note there instead of your first finger. It doesn't really matter which note you play there too much. I think it in the recording, I hear, I don't know, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on. It seems to be can be either one or the other depending on what note suits that part of the song best, so you just kind of gotta go with feel there. But it's easier to do your first finger, I think, so we'll go with that. So so there's a bit of a stretch there. It's like 8th fret to 12th fret. But that's basically what you, when you get to your first finger there. That's your 4th beat there. So then you're sort of starting the next measure with your pinky, except you started a 16th note earlier. So and then you just like repeat the main riff again, starting with that tied note. That's basically all that's to it. Like the key things you want to remember for this riff is that you're bouncing between your second finger and your 4th finger, and kind of keeping your first finger in place. And it's in groups of 3, and that's really the key to this riff here. And to end it, I guess I don't know. I just like to slide from this really dissonant thing here, just minor second. Slide down and make it an octave so that everything kind of harmonizes a lot better. Yeah, so I hope you found the tutorial useful, and I don't know, enjoy playing the riff.